Ever finish a day with your to-do list still buzzing in your head, or lay awake strategizing the next day's schedule? As creatives, our work never really stops. Ideas pulsing at midnight, deadlines looming into the shower stream, so our play never really starts. What if you could channel that restless energy into a structured, renewable system that fuels your career and your soul? In this episode, I'll guide you in personalizing a work-life balance plan to break this restless cycle and achieve the spark and structure that you've been craving. Welcome to the Creative Convergence podcast. I'm your host, Leigh N, Eldred, a multidisciplinary creative strategist that advances innovative solutions through artistic design and strategic communication. My plan for work-life balance wasn't born in a boardroom. It grew out of restless nights and caffeine-fueled mornings when my to-do list felt like an unsilenceable earwig. For most of my life, I split my world into work and everything else. I devised outlines in the shower, worked on side projects between classes, and drafted slide decks over lunch, because dinner was reserved for certification courses. My only regular free time was reading the news during breakfast, as I was too groggy to do anything else before caffeine kicked in. Play began to feel like an intangible dream, while rest evoked guilt. So, the more I chased productivity, the more elusive peace became. As I stared at a blank Word document, exhausted from an endless loop of unfinished tasks, I realized that my approach was totally backward. Instead of deferring fun and relegating self-care to the end of my checklist, I needed to dedicate time for that in my schedule. I had to prioritize my well-being or risk crashing and burning out. Moving beyond wishful thinking necessitated a gamified action plan that I could integrate seamlessly into my workload. That insight led me to design a reroutable roadmap for every part of my life. Given my education, I sought quantifiable data by surveying my peers and then interviewing them for qualitative revelations on their values, beliefs, and behaviors. I asked about their careers, multitasking, workflows, AI integration, leadership, and even personal branding progress. Did they seek to learn, be inspired, get motivated, laugh, or advance their career prospects? I wanted to see their initial reaction to the words work-life balance to determine their biggest struggles. The responses echoed my own thoughts and experiences, desiring a healthy balance, but not knowing how to begin. I asked if they liked some advice on easier implementation. A chorus of resounding affirmations settled that question, and their feedback became my blueprint for moving forward. I share my work-life balance planner on an Adobe Behance project page as a free downloadable PDF. The workbook you create from it is customizable, meant to grow with you month after month. Unlike a static progress journal, you can print only the pages that suit your current needs. After defining your priorities, you'll set realistic goals and moonshot dreams side by side, track self-care rituals, map out your month, and color code your mood. Unchecked boxes are not viewed as failure, but merely data to inform the path forward, because every skipped goal is an invitation to reevaluate your needs and desires. Today, I'll walk you through each page, defining goals to anchor your intentions, brainstorm to expose your creative philosophy, self-care to honor your recharge rituals, monthly and weekly planning to turn vision into action, mood, inspiration, and affirmation to capture personal insights, sketch personal and professional to set priorities as goals, reflection and growth to celebrate milestones, and next to outline new objectives for the next month. I'll offer real-world examples, on-screen cues, and endless encouragement. But before we jump into the next page, let's just take a moment to breathe. No matter how frazzled your day began, you're here now because you are ready for change. You have a printable toolkit, a step-by-step walkthrough, and permission to start anywhere. Take a moment to print out the pages at the link below, gather your favorite pens or markers, and a fresh cup of whatever fuels you. Feel free to pause the video to move through every section at your own pace. You can start anywhere, skip sections, and loop back. Now, let's turn that creative energy into a compass for calm clarity. This work-life balance planner is designed to help creatives like you navigate the complexities of balancing your personal and professional life while striving for personal growth and fueling your passion. Use this workbook as a tool to prioritize your tasks, define your goals, spark inspiration, and achieve harmony in your creative journey. It's very important that everything you write on these pages derives from your authentic self. Look inwardly with self-awareness to discern your truth. Don't write what you think you should write or what others would approve of. These pages are for your eyes only, meant only to help you achieve the balance that you have been craving. Remember to be true to your own experience. We will begin with a define page because creativity blossoms when structure and freedom coexist. Here we have a work-life balance wheel with sections labeled by category. Take a moment to write down your highest priority in each area. By naming the most important aspect of each core domain, you are giving yourself permission to invest in every part of your life. This will serve as your compass moving forward through the next month. While acknowledging that certain categories will have more significance to you, each portion is still allotted equal space for equal attention. In this way, you can identify when your focus may inadvertently skew, for example, toward client work at the expense of neglecting family time. In the spiritual section, think about what you know brings you peace by feeding your spirituality. Examples are morning breath work, Sunday prayer, group yoga, tea in the garden. For your career, ask yourself what is most imperative now, like achieving a certain milestone in a side project or refining your online portfolio. This could be something for your current work or aspiration for your future. For personal development, consider what you've been wanting to learn but have been putting off. That could be earning a new certification in artificial intelligence or reading a design book that has been sitting on your coffee table for months. In the finance section, deliberate on concrete priorities, large or small. Maybe that's allocating $90 each month for online design tools or saving for goals like retirement or a vacation. For the friends category, thoughtfully question what you really need to foster the quality relationships in your life. If that's more in-person chats with your best friend, then that time could be exchanged with mindless doom scrolling on social media. In the family section, reflect on what brings you closest to your loved ones and strengthens your long-term social bonds. If time together needs to be facilitated, consider hosting a monthly coffee at home, a coffee shop, or even virtually. Perhaps a mandated movie or game night is warranted. For fun and recreation, think about what you love to do or have been aching to try. This could be anything from a new dance class to regular improv nights. And last, but certainly not least, is the health aspect. Everyone knows we should all be exercising and eating right, but deep down, you know you have the right answers for what is right for your life. Don't set a lofty and knowingly unattainable goal here. Write what you find to be a reasonable priority for the next month, knowing this will grow over time. Start with something that feels right for your body as well as your mind and soul. This could be setting a schedule for 3 20-minute walks per week, or making an appointment to speak with a clinician about an existing health concern. Why is writing these down so important? Without anchoring your intentions, your domains may easily become lopsided. By defining the highest priority in each domain, you grant it permission to guiltlessly take space on your calendar. Next, the long-term goals page acts as an extension of the priorities of the define page by helping you to take power over the direction of your life. Create 2 columns, and on the left, add concrete goals that you could check off this year. These are lesser priorities, but are realistically attainable and worth investing your time toward achieving. Then on the right, add those goals that would fulfill your greatest hopes and dreams. Examples of realistic goals are recording a podcast series of 12 episodes, publishing 1 case study, writing a series of monthly thought leader articles, or attending a meditation retreat. Aspirational examples are landing a guest spot on a top talk show, publishing a best-selling novel, or founding a popular catering company that books 2 years in advance. Mixing pragmatism with vision keeps you both grounded and encouraged. Checking off a realistic goal helps you to gain momentum, and looking at your moonshot goals will keep you inspired. Now onto the brainstorming page. To expose your creative philosophy and envision your perfect work-life balance, let your thoughts take shape in whatever form feels most natural to you. Consider this your wildcard zone for stream of consciousness writing, doodling, collaging, mind mapping, or sketching. And yes, stick figures are perfectly acceptable. Think about what fuels your best ideas and when you have felt the most alive creatively. Define and list your creative mantras. Examples of this are structure fuels freedom, play and purpose can coexist, and time blossoms into wings when it serves my creative spirit. These statements can become your North Star when you feel unmoored. Envision what it would feel like to attain a creative balance in your career and private life. Now draw this revelation of having actualized that perfect state of equilibrium. Remember that your freshly defined creative philosophy should guide every action you take toward achieving balance. Next up is the self-care page. Every publication has its own definition of this, but for our purposes here, you should identify what you need the most to recharge and thrive. By discovering new approaches to restore your mind and body, you can successfully stay attuned to your creative energy. Make a list of the activities that either reset your focus to a calm state or revitalize your energy after a heavy work sprint. This could be anything like baby care rituals, art gallery visits, local theater, museum tours, prayer verse meditation, dancing, painting, sporting events, scenic walks, creative writing, yoga, or art journaling. Be sure to incorporate a variety of physical, social, creative, and restorative activities. By honoring your recharge rituals, you can divide your busy work week into manageable portions that aren't overwhelming. By treating self-care as non-negotiable, you're fueling resilience for every new deadline. Every new month, use the calendar planner pages to lay the foundation for productive balance by mapping out deadlines, personal events, and activities to reach your goals. Identify 3 creative goals, 1 personal growth objective, and the domain you'll focus on this month. If health has been your most neglected aspect of your life recently, then schedule a checkup with your primary care doctor and set aside time for sunrise yoga sessions. Prioritize whatever it is that you know deep down you need to thrive. If you feel like it, color code each type. Try purple for creative activities, orange for work deadlines, blue for social activities, red for events, and green for personal growth. You could even draw symbols like stars to block in time for revitalizing self-care activities. When you anchor your major objectives in writing, then you will see how the smaller habits just fall right into place. Every Sunday, fill in the weekly plan page as a ritual to turn vision into action. Expand on the monthly plan by defining your weekly goals across the key areas of work, personal development, and creative projects. Ask yourself what professional goal could be reasonably accomplished within the week. How could you nurture your creative energy, and what personal achievement could you celebrate this week? Reflect on how these weekly micro goals align with your long-term vision to keep yourself accountable. For Monday through Sunday, assign yourself core tasks like client calls, podcast research, and social media marketing. Define one new career target like a client review, design sprint, or brochure draft. Be sure to set time for activities that spark your creativity, like painting, journaling, sketching, mood boarding, or photography. Schedule in personal wins too, like calling an old friend, devising a new recipe, or starting a new Pilates class. Checking items off this list daily will keep you honest, motivated, and aligned with your goals. Next up is the mood page, where you'll examine how tasks, projects, and self-care routines affect your overall mood so that you can begin to identify patterns in your life. Pay attention to how you feel during certain activities. When you notice yourself feeling particularly drained or energized, make a note on your page about it. Rate your mood from 1 to 5 or color code the activity for visual representation. Use this page as a mood tracking tool so that you can find those hidden patterns. Perhaps Mondays are too heavy on bookkeeping tasks that leave you feeling flat, because they're light on design work for clients that actually lifts your mood. So maybe you should try interspersing one task with the other. Self-awareness is the key to refining your schedule for a better balance that regenerates your spirit. Now for the inspiration page. This is where you'll capture those motivating moments that really resonated with you. By writing or drawing them here, you can retain those creative sparks. Begin by describing what inspired you recently. Glue a magazine clipping that captivates your curiosity, jot down an intriguing soundbite you heard, tape a photograph of the sight that took your breath away, note a line of scripture that resounded with your soul, diagram a creative projects you want to begin, make room for your favorite quote. Here's one from Walt Disney to get you started. All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. It's important to realize that you never really know where project inspiration will come from. A line from a song could trigger a concept for a graphic design or blog post. Record those flashes of inspiration to cement them in your memory. Keep them to revisit whenever you need a boost of creative energy. For the affirmation page, you should write those phrases that ground your spirit when you begin to feel overwhelmed. Record them here whenever they come to your mind. When you need grounding, take a deep breath in, then slowly let it out as you concentrate on each word of the phrase. Repeat this recitation process whenever you feel stress beginning to take hold. Try phrases like, "My creativity deserves space," or "I am enough." Recite them while staring at a blank page or at the start of what you know will be a hectic day. Use these personal reminders to rewire your mindset. Breath prayers are a form of this method for the spiritually minded, where one line of prayer is stated within a single exhalation. An example of this is, "Guide me on this path." Grounding yourself with belief can be particularly powerful. The key is to tap into your own inner strength by reciting positive affirmations before stress completely overtakes you. Now for the sketch page. This is a particularly fun one for me as an artist, but you don't need any drawing skills to benefit from free expression. This page is for your own benefit, and it doesn't need to be shared with anyone unless you want to. Begin with forming a mental picture of what you consider when you hear the word peace. Illustrate that concept here. Then draw a representation of what it would feel like to have real peace in your life. Be sure to write a few captions that explain your ideal vision of a peaceful existence. Always remember that your creativity is unique and it deserves space to flourish. For the personal page, start by thinking about what you want more of in your life. Then consider what changes you could reasonably make to bring you closer to your ideal vision. By defining the personal habits that work well for you and those which do not, you can begin to envision ways to make advances in your life. Changes can be made to improve your overall health by incorporating a new set of healthy habits. Even bigger improvements can be made by releasing yourself from habits you know to be unhealthy. Try listing social activities that you can do to share quality time with friends and loved ones. Ask yourself if adopting a dog or cat from a rescue shelter would bring you intermittent doses of delight to break up busy days. Personally, I found that my precious pets are my most consistent source of joy. Only you can outline your journey to discern habitual patterns that set you back versus those which bring you closer to your ideal existence. Next is the professional page, which is similar to the previous one in that you are defining your ideal vision, but this time you'll be taking note of your career. You should begin by asking yourself, what career milestone have you already achieved? And then consider what professional challenges you have overcome. Now imagine creative new methods that could help you succeed. List those and your top priorities for meeting deadlines at work. Then set your objectives for new professional accomplishments. Let both your successes and setbacks inform you of the strategic path that you should take to advance your goals. As each month closes, you should go to the reflection page to record your progress by identifying your successes, acknowledging your challenges, and taking account of the lessons you've learned. Ask yourself what goals or milestones you achieved and what creative skills or habit you strive to develop. Then consider what changes you could implement for further improvements in the next month. Decide which overall patterns still need to be altered to achieve the balance you desire. Know that self-reflection doesn't need to be accompanied by judgment. Consider it as data, which you can use to level up. To complete the growth page, you should revisit some of the previous pages like defining goals to be able to track your progress over time. Acknowledge your growth in categories like self-care practices, learning opportunities, professional networking, collaborative projects, creative developments, and career wins. You should also recognize the persistent challenges you keep facing that continue to hinder your growth. Remember to celebrate the small wins that propel you further on your balance journey, and that every day is a fresh opportunity to strive toward your goals. Finally, the last page in the planner is labeled Next, because after thinking about the strides you made and considering all that you've learned, it's time to list your new personal growth objectives for the coming month. Consider the challenges you noted on the previous pages and the patterns you learned to recognize as you set your new intentions. You can also try setting a goal to complete every planner page for a full month. Later, when you're ready, you should begin the whole process again with a new set of printed pages and keep these outlined objectives in mind. Later, when you're ready, you should begin the whole process again with a new set of printed pages that keep these outlined objectives in mind. Balance will never have a perfect finish line. It will become a daily practice of fine-tuning your actions into what your mind, body, and soul needs. Over these past segments, we've named your core domains, set realistic and aspirational goals, sketched your creative philosophy, planned your months and weeks, and tracked your mood, inspiration, and goals. Each page of this planner gives you a data point as an opportunity to learn where you thrive and where you need rest. Knowing that New Year's resolutions generally falter from a rigid pass-fail mentality, I intentionally designed this system to be forgiving. If you skip a week of self-care prompts or miss a calendar entry, that doesn't mean that you failed. It just means that you've gathered valuable insights to adjust in the next month. Maybe that week was too full, or your self-care rituals need recharging. Treat every unchecked entry as personal feedback and not a blemish on your progress. When I committed to tracking my own creative sparks in Mood Daily, I discovered patterns that I had never taken the time to notice. Late afternoon calls disrupted my workflow, and a 10-minute morning sketch session lifted my mood for the entire day. Those and other insights led me to reconsider my calendar. Know that I, too, am still refining my process and will continue to, as my needs and situation change. My goals stay centered on gaining hours of focused and inspired work every week. Now it's your turn. Download the free workbook from my project on Adobe Behance, print the pages that speak to you, and commit to one section today. Use this planner as your printable, flexible, and forgiving toolkit. You can start on any page, skip a section, or dive in fully. Even partial use builds momentum and creative energy. You can just print the Define and Goals page to use for a week, launch straight into the monthly planner to anchor your big picture vision, then layer in weekly and daily check-ins. Or you could begin filling out the self-care and reflection sections for a couple of weeks. You can start anywhere, as each month does not need to look like the last. With each small win, let belief in your ability to progress grow stronger. Remember that rest is not a reward. Rest is a necessary, productive part of the creative process. Use this planner as your companion, your coach, and your canvas. Keep refining your balance wheel and watch as structure and freedom blossom together in your life and work. Share your wins, challenges, or favorite insights by tagging me on LinkedIn. Connect with me at the link below. Your journey will inspire someone else who is lying awake with lists in their head too. If you enjoyed today's discussion, subscribe, share, and join the Creative Convergence podcast and newsletter for communication and design professionals seeking a true multidisciplinary edge. I share tactical strategies to build innovative cross-platform solutions by fusing cohesive strategic messaging with artistic visual design. so that viewers may learn how to create emotionally engaging experiences to achieve measurable business growth. Until next time, keep refining your creative balance, converging your skills, and crafting engaging experiences that drive real results. Thanks for listening.